Hey y'all, it's Jacqueline at Pixie Dust PhD. I am filming this in February of 2025. We are now officially in month 61 of the channel, so we have posted for 5 full years. If you want to see the standard monthly creator update where we mostly talk about news and then go over the month stats, I already posted that video. I will link to it in the description below. Plus, if you are newer to the channel and like those monthly creator updates, whether that's the news, the stats, the revenues, the reflections, I do have an entire playlist of those. I have missed a couple months here or there, so there's probably like 58 of them maybe, but there's a lot in the back catalog for you to peruse. This video specifically, we're really going to look at yearly stats, so year over year changes, reflecting on year 5, comparing year 5 to lifetime, and projecting into the year ahead. I didn't get too many specific questions that y'all wanted answered. Some of you wanted some basic background info, so we'll do that real quick. Hey, I'm Jacqueline. I live in the Washington, D.C. area with my partner Adam, and we have a dog. I have a PhD in biomedical engineering. I no longer physically work on the bench. I'm not a wet lab scientist anymore, but I am still in the scientific realm. I went to Disneyland and Disney World a couple times as a kid, but I really don't have strong memories of that. But Adam and I have found our love as theme parks as adults, so now we go fairly regularly. We have 2 Disney Vacation Club home resorts. One is Bay Lake Tower at Walt Disney World. The other one is Villas at Disneyland Hotel. Like I said, we currently live in DC, so on the East Coast, getting to Disney World isn't too hard, but at some point I would like to move further west. I am originally from Washington State. I still have family and a bunch of friends out in that general area, so yeah, the Disneyland contract is a future-looking thing. We tend to do a longer Disney Parks trip every other year and then sprinkle in short trips here or there, whether that's just a weekend down in Walt Disney World, or if we're already going to Paris, for example, maybe we just tack a couple days on at Disneyland Paris. Together as adults, we have now been to Disneyland California once. We will be going again this year. Walt Disney World a handful of times, and then Disneyland Paris once. There are no immediate plans for any of the Asian parks. And together we have been on a few cruises. I would not really say that we are cruise people, so Disney Cruise Line is not anywhere in our immediate future. If you have any other questions about me or the channel, go ahead and leave those in the comments down below, and I'll do my best to get back to you. But with that, let's go ahead and get into some year 5 stats. Specifically, these were pulled from February of 2024 through February of 2025. According to YouTube, this past year I posted 82 videos and 3 shorts. My general goal is to always post at least 1 video a week, so we far exceeded that. And for comparison, in year 4 I posted 93 videos, so a few more, but 86 shorts, so way more shorts. For a while I was trying to post 1 to 2 shorts a week, just depending on how many proper videos were coming out a week. I would kind of fill in the space with shorts. At some point my life got very overwhelming with my job situation and other, mental stressors, so I kind of decided if I was going to scale back on anything, it would be the shorts, so I really just did not post shorts this past year. Here's a look at the top content in year 5 by views. Specifically, this was views accumulated during year 5. The arrows on the left denote videos that were posted in this year, and you can see there are some videos that were not posted during year 5 that did still accumulate a decent amount of views. So this is not based on post date, this is based on views accumulated. Unsurprisingly, the list is very Disney Vacation Club heavy. That is kind of the niche I've largely carved out on the channel. I do post content, reviews, and vlogs from my trips. That's mostly honestly to preserve memories for me. I know that those are not terribly popular or all that helpful. But it's nice to see that some of the information heavy content I produce on Disney Vacation Club is proving helpful and popular. The top 2 videos were Island Tower news, the new tower at the Polynesian. Very glad to see that reached a wide audience, but unfortunately for me, there's not always interesting news coming out in the DVC realm, so I don't always have news that I can make videos on. Similarly, the room tours are relatively popular both in any given year and in lifetime of the channel. But of course, to post a room tour, I need to stay in the room. I'm not always down at Walt Disney World or Orlando or other theme park locations. In comparison, here is the lifetime top content by views, and again, on the left, you'll see the 1 arrow denoting what we posted in year 5 that made the lifetime top 10. So only 1 video broke into the top 10 for lifetime. On the one hand, it's not that surprising, given that some of these videos have had years to rack up way more views. On the other hand, of course, maybe I would have liked 2 or 3 videos to have cracked into the top 10. But generally speaking, I would say I'm certainly not disappointed with this. And of note, the last video here in the top 10 is that member portal walkthrough. I posted this ages ago, and frankly, I still think it is one of the most helpful videos I have ever made. The member portal has had some slight changes, but for the most part, it functions exactly the same as when I filmed that video, so for now, that remains evergreen content. It was really a big pain to put together, honestly, because I had to block out my last name and my membership number, my contract number on so many pages. It was a very painstaking process, but I am so glad that a lot of people find this useful. And if you are looking into Disney Vacation Club yourself, or you have a friend that is the video that I would really ask that you watch and pass along. We just looked at top 10s, but here's the full list of all of the videos that got more than 1,000 views during year 5. So again, these weren't necessarily posted in year 5, but they accumulated their views in year 5. Only one video surpassed 5,000 views overall. I'm not too terribly surprised, but I think this is 15 or 16 total videos with over 1,000 views each, which I'm pretty happy about. And here in this pinkish purple color now are videos that are very DVC focused. So again, this just further proves that the Disney Vacation Club content really is the core of my channel and the thing that at least most of the audience I think is coming for. Looking at some lifetime view stats, there are 2 videos with greater than 10,000 views each. And then there are 4 additional videos, so 6 total videos, as well as 2 shorts with more than 5,000 views each. And much to my surprise, I have a combined 105 videos and shorts with more than 1,000 views each. When I went to pull the stat, I really thought it might be like 20, 30, I don't know, but over 100 is mind-blowing, and thank you so much. Orienting you to the next several graphs, bars will be the pure number, and then the lines will be the percent change year over year. So here you can see in year 5, we got about 90,000 views. And compared to year 4, that's about 30% less. So on the surface, this doesn't look very good, doesn't feel very good, but remember, I posted a lot more content in year 4 if we count the shorts. So then scrubbing this to be videos only, so taking shorts out of it and making it a little bit more fair across the board, it's a little bit of a different story. Here you can see in year 5, we got about 78,000 views on videos compared to year 4, which is about 65,000 views. This now then is about a 20% increase year over year. And considering my focus in year 5 was videos only, I think that this is the better comparator. Next, we've got watch hours by year. You can see years 3, 4, and 5 are remarkably consistent. We're really hovering in that 6,200 watch hour range. So technically year 5, I did have fewer watch hours compared to year 4. But again, considering that I posted 3 shorts compared to, 80 something, I'm not all that surprised. Granted, shorts don't rack up that many watch hours because obviously they're short in length. But if I had posted 70 more shorts, I feel pretty confident I would have made up this 60-hour difference in watch hours year to year. Here is impressions. So in year 5, we got about 1.23 million impressions. That's compared to about 1.18 million impressions in year 4, so a small increase. We had been seeing considerably more significant jumps in this year over year from year 1 through year 4, and now the year 4 to 5 comparison is pretty small, pretty minimal increase, but I'll take any growth. And the year 5 impressions from YouTube stat comes back at 44.8%. This is a slight decrease from the year 4 stat at 45.6%. So we may be plateauing in the 45% range for this, but honestly, that's not bad in my opinion. Of course, you always want to see your stats grow, but I think most stats have a realistic ceiling. I don't necessarily know what the realistic ceiling for impressions from YouTube is. Maybe it's 70% and I'm doing kind of bad. But for me, when I look at it month to month, 40 to 50% is pretty good. So personally, I'm not surprised at all to see that this is about the same. Then arguably, perhaps the most important stat is subscribers. In year 5, we got 336 new subscribers to the channel. This is a considerable decrease from years 2, 3, and 4, where we were pretty much always getting 440 to 450 subscribers. Overall, this past year, subscribers have averaged to be roughly 1 a day, which again is not terrible, but is, a pretty significant decrease from the past few years. And this is a stat that's been frustrating for me on a year-to-year level because in many regards, my channel is growing in other realms, but has been totally stagnant, or now, year to year, has lost progress in gaining subscribers. And subscribers isn't the be-all, end-all to me personally. I really did this to just share the knowledge that I gained about Disney Vacation Club out of sheer frustration, honestly, because I found the landscape to be hellacious, if I'm being honest, and if I can help with that, great. And also to grow the community. And I love our little community, and I've genuinely made some amazing friends through it. So that is what counts to me most at the end of the day. But of course, when you talk about a YouTube channel, subscribers is the key stat. And so yeah, it is painful and frustrating to see this drop so dramatically year to year. And to some extent, it ultimately kind of feels like something I can't do a ton about. With views and watch hours, essentially if I just work harder and pump out more content, you're almost guaranteed to increase those stats. But you can be pumping out 3 times as much content and not getting any more subscribers, really. I definitely take some blame for this in that I do the YouTube channel, and especially in the past year, I've really just done the YouTube channel. I really don't promote the videos on other aspects of social media. I think if I was very serious about growing my subscriber base, I would try a lot harder. There, I would probably have my own website. I would be really pushing for this and really advertising every week. Here's the new video drop. Here's what you could learn. Come watch, all those things. And I just don't do that. It's just not really who I am. And growing the channel is not my main life goal. So I'm not willing to be kind of annoying about it. So 100% there are actions I could be taking to grow more in this realm. But in terms of just the natural progression and folks subscribing out of their own free will and not because I'm bombarding them with ads, I don't know, it's just not going all that great. Another key stat is revenue. And again, like I am absolutely not doing this for the money. I have a full-time, very demanding job that YouTube could never replace. The money is just a nice little perk, a supplement. I pretty much put it back into the channel with buying equipment. I'm definitely not complaining that I receive revenue. I just want everyone to understand that this is not my main goal. That being said, it is growing year over year, unlike subscribers. So like I said, it's funny that views can be growing, watch time can be growing or about the same, revenue can be growing, but subscribers down. But anyway, in year 5, I made about $765. This is an improvement over year 4 where I made about $525. I have the year 3 stat up here for your awareness, but it's not the most fair comparison because I got monetized midway through year 3, so it's not a full year of monetization. Here are the top 5 revenue producing videos in year 5. Again, you can see that this is dominated by Disney Vacation Club and room tours. And lifetime here is a look at the top revenue producing videos and shorts. The number 1 video was the original explainer about the disability access program at Walt Disney World. The program has changed a bit, and I did add a new video that was like, here are the updates, but ultimately most of the information in the old video stands. So I'm glad that's useful. I think that program is confusing for a lot of people. And then again, you have DVC news and room tours. I wanted to throw the shorts up here just for a comparison in the order of magnitude difference between revenue gain from shorts versus videos. Essentially, I never talk about revenue gain from shorts because it's just so negligible. And looking at top revenue producers from year 5 and lifetime, we do have a few from year 5 that made it into the top lifetime. Specifically, our top 4 revenue producing videos from year 5 do make the top 10 lifetime. And again, that's DVC news, DVC availability, and a room tour. So thinking about year 5 overall, I'm pretty happy with the views. I am less happy with the subscriber count. Not to be ungrateful, thank you to everyone who has subscribed and supports the channel. I really, really do appreciate it. But obviously seeing that dip, especially after several years in a row of kind of maintaining the same pace, like it's hard not to be disappointed in that. That's just the reality of the situation for me. The growth in revenue is good. It's nice to see that. And it's validating that between the views, the revenue, like there are metrics that are going up, even if subscribers is not. But mostly the community has been really great. I really enjoy interacting with all of you. And like I said, I've genuinely made some amazing friends through this. I think maybe there's one video on the channel so far from my September 2024 trip down to Walt Disney World. But for example, I never would have gone on that trip without this community. The goal for the upcoming year is 2,500 subscribers. I do not know if this is realistic. At the time I'm recording this, we're around 1,950 subscribers, so not yet at 2,000. And then of course you would have another 500 to go. If you remember from those bar graphs, I've never hit 500 subscribers in a year. So it's possibly unrealistic. Similarly, last year, I think I made the goal for this year to hit 2,000. We fell a little bit short of that. But I'm okay making lofty goals that maybe I won't hit. It is still something to drive toward. And looking further ahead at year 6, obviously I can't predict any DVC news. We do have Reflection of Lakeshore Lodge, but that's not slated to open up until 2027. So I think we might not get a ton of news in this year. But I do have a Disneyland trip coming up and I'm excited to share about that. I've not super formally announced it publicly on the channel. I did make an unlisted video that I shared as a teaser of some of the type of content that you can get access to if you join as a monthly member over on my Ko-fi. So I will relink that video below. And if you do want to support me, I'll link my Ko-fi below too. I previewed this in the month 60 creator update, but I think I'm going to test out new styles for the DVC availability videos. It is tricky because everyone has such different preferences. Like some people are like, yeah, just show me Riviera. Show me Riviera from tomorrow through 11 months. And other people are like, no, I want to see all of it all at one time. But honestly, I think the best way for me to move forward is to just test some different formulas, see maybe what performs better than others, and then I can narrow down. But yeah, doing them all at once not only is like a super long video, it's a super long process for me, and also it's kind of painfully boring for me. So I just kind of want to switch it up, spice it up, and see if I can find a more sustainable way of doing this for everybody. And again, if you have ideas, thoughts, feedback, definitely leave those in the comments down below. Next, I want to take some time to do some more meaningful comparisons in DVC. So the Old Key West versus Saratoga Springs video I made several years ago at this point still does pretty well. I know Peter's had a lot of really great suggestions in this realm and I just haven't gotten around to it, so I want to make it more of a priority. So Grand Floridian versus Riviera, I think is one of them. We could do like a woodsy theme. So now you've got like tree houses at Saratoga. You have obviously all of Copper Creek plus the cabins. You've got Wilderness Lodge. You've got the cabins at Fort Wilderness, and then there will be Lakeshore Lodge. I don't know, I just kind of want to get back more into some data-heavy videos around the DVC resorts themselves. If you have any ideas of topics in that realm you want to see me cover, definitely let me know. I do keep a master list of all these, and like I said, it is my intent to get to some of these more interesting, high-effort videos this year. And sadly, the editing software I've been using was acquired by a different company and then sunsetted. The version I have on my computer does still currently function, but I don't know how long it's going to last, and I have a lot of concerns about the longevity of that, so I'm going to have to learn a new editing software, which I think will be a pretty big learning curve for me. That obviously is super behind the scenes, but if you see pretty different styles in videos, that is me playing around in different editing softwares and learning their capabilities. And maybe that'll be a good thing. Maybe I'll stumble into something that I prefer. But yeah, rip to me for all the time I put into learning HitFilm. You were great while you lasted. All right, and then some hard maybes, so things I've been thinking about include returning to shorts. So maybe one a week, probably not more than that. I do feel like, particularly since we went on our 2023 trip, I have a bunch of new footage that I could clip into shorts. But the primary gain from shorts is views, and so yes, it helps pad the views numbers, but I typically don't get very many subscribers from shorts, if any. It does expand the audience, like the unique users reached stat would also surely go up. And yeah, maybe I'll work on it. We'll see. It's not a top priority, but it is something I've been thinking about. Also, clearly the news portion of the channel does fairly well, so I've also been considering maybe doing more timely news coverage. This is just tricky because it's such a congested space, like covering Disney news. There's channels that like that's all that they do. And so I'm never going to be first. I'm never going to get the scoop. I'm like not on the Disney media list. So I'm not really sure if it's just worth the effort to like drop everything, make this video, correct the captions, post it as soon as possible. For big DVC news, I do really try to do that. But for more general news, I save it for the monthly creator updates. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. To be honest, most of this decision is just going to be dependent on my bandwidth. But it is something I've been thinking about in terms of it might be impactful in increasing subscribers. And then I've also really been thinking about making like a PDF how-to booklet about Disney Vacation Club, which essentially is just scribing the knowledge I've put on the channel into a written format in like an organized manner. I know I personally would rather just get a PDF and like go through things and kind of be able to like take notes in the margins or highlight stuff, whatever, than have to go through a playlist of YouTube videos. I know people learn differently and take information in differently. And so yeah, I have, again, all of the knowledge is in my head, all of the knowledge is on the channel. It would just need to be transcribed. I think it would probably take a few dozen hours maybe to like really hone in and tailor to a way that I think works on paper. But yeah, that's definitely something I've been thinking about. And obviously it would be like a product from the channel, but it wouldn't be for the channel. It would definitely be something on the side, but I really enjoy writing, so I think it would be like a side project for me personally that just happens to be related to the channel. But again, that's really a bandwidth issue. I've been thinking about this for a few months and I was hoping I could get to it during quiet time during the holiday season, but there was no quiet time during the holiday season for me at work. It was actually heinous. So did not even start. Not a lick, not a drop. But yeah, we'll see. That's another project I have in mind. But there's your overall reflection for year 5 and a little bit comparing year 5 to lifetime of the channel. For now, I'm feeling good about year 6. I am still a little bit more behind on the channel than I want to be, but I think we've got a lot of exciting things coming up. I'm especially excited to get back to Disneyland. Although I think It's a Small World might still be down for refurbishment, and it was down when I went last time too, so I'm sure I went as a kid, but like I have not experienced in my memory It's a Small World at Disneyland, and I was really hoping to remedy that, but that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. If you've got any Disneyland must-do tips or tricks, leave those in the comments down below. And thank you so much for coming along for this ride, whether you've been a viewer for 2 weeks or 3 years or 5 years. I'm super grateful for your support. All your interactions with the channel genuinely are really helpful. That's what drives these statistics. And as always, if you have any ideas for me, I am so open to them and I do keep a master list. And mostly I wanted to say thank you so much for being amazing community members. I would not be doing this for 5 full years if it weren't for you all. I hope February has been kind to you. May the rest of your day be magical, and we'll see you real soon at Pixie Dust PhD.